Hello, everybody. So that's daily insights on business and branding. Do not be afraid. It's still the same videos, but just on a little bit different energy, just on a bit of relaxed energy, and you'll see how productive and driven I am. So I'm gonna share with you today 4 insights that I have across this week because I was not consistent with daily videos, right? Let's cover the first one on how work brings me tons of joy, how I love brainstorming, and now it's my work. I realized I was sitting in the train today and I just looked at other people. Some of them were working with some Excels, with some tables. Some of them were going to the city for work. And I was sitting there and I could relax just because I am my own boss and just because I wasn't in the mood to work. I was in the mood to write scripts for reels. And actually, that's super special secret information for you that we will be making you. This microphone is not working. I'm not sure. I do not know why am I holding it, but it just feels good. So I could afford not to work, and we have a new format on our reels on social media that would be called Steal Branding Idea for and the niche or name of the brand or name of business. For example, today I recorded 3 reels and wrote scripts for branding ideas for towels, for chips, and for food subscription service. These were really creative ideas that include naming of the business, their slogan, look and feel, sound and voice, ideas for ads and brand pairings, and emotional benefits, rational benefits. This was awesome. Why? Because I was sitting there in a train and I was just writing copy. I'm like, what if there is a company that is food subscription company? And what if I would call them Kid and Kids? Because I was just looking at one kid who was sitting across me and I just loved the way he ate apples that mom put in a box for him. And that's what creativity for me is when I am just driving, or I'm on the train, or I'm just living my life and I'm noticed, I observe some things and then I implement that into my work and into the content and into the agency. That's how creative mind works, and I allowed myself to develop that somehow. I do not know how I did that, but I noticed things. And it's awesome. And now it is my job. It's my work. That's what I do for living. The other day I was just drawing mascots, that idea of which I took from Office series and also from one cartoon and also from the group of friends I had. And I'm like, what if we have different mascots for one app who all have different characters and personalities, and we can all, it's almost like making a cartoon or making scenario for film that you're actually interested in. Like, I was thinking of becoming writer or author for some books when I was a kid. I don't know why, I just romanticized that. And now I'm actually coming up with these stories for branding. And I was just drawing different shapes of animated like mascots. And I was sitting there like, is that my real job? Drawing rectangles and coloring them with orange? Is that it? Or coming up with ideas for food subscription? I'm gonna tell you the idea. It's called Kid and Kids, and it sounds pretty cool, like Kid and Kids. It's like, I don't know, it's fun. We can even make some song or ad in a singing way. Kid and Kids, that's cool. That's not even lame. And that would be meant for target audience of business mom, like business women. Business mom, it's actually good. I haven't heard that word. Those who are caring about their work and also care about their kids, but they need some time in the morning, they need some their coffee, they need some ritual. So you'd have just food subscription, it's called Kid and Kids, and you would get that every morning and you'd be just driving kids to school. So by like sitting in the car, you'll say, hey, I got Kid and Kids, it's cool. And that would mean that you took the food and snacks for kids at school and your kids. It's awesome. it's genius. And so I decided that we'll be making this format on our social media. Why? Because it's not educational, it's not boring. It shows how we think, how creative we are, how badass we are, how we are not going with standard options, but it shows how we are pursuing some unique options here. And it also not about being nerds, because we have a lot of content just telling people what to do, just telling the mistakes, like these are 5 mistakes you shouldn't repeat, or these are 10 things you shouldn't do, or these are 10 things that you should do. Always trying to teach somebody when we are on our own way here. And we are actually like sharing that from POV of being on the road of building creative branding agency. It's hard, and we are not positioning ourselves as experts here. We are positioning ourselves as really cool creative pan that would make anything to make your brand and business stand out in terms of design, of course. And I also heard next thing. So yeah, first insight was that how happy I am that I have work like that and business like that and actually make money from it. It's awesome. The second insight that I had is we should no longer be trying to teach people. We should be shifting their mindset on social media. That's really interesting approach for brands. So there are experts on social media, and I used to be one. These are people who are telling some series or rules how you should be doing stuff. When I was mentor for UI and UX design, I used to be expert. I called myself like expert. But it attracts audience who are seeking for free educational content, who are all maybes, not buying your materials just now, not buying your services. That's not the right audience, because we are not here to educate other graphic designers or other creators, other UI UX designers. We're not here for that. Of course, you can take inspiration from us. That's like no brainer. Yeah, welcome. We love, we are ourselves brand designers, right? So we love you. But that's not our target audience. Our target audience are business owners who want to make a shift, who want to change something in their brand, or who want to change something in their life and start a business, right? So we should be showing how this shift feels, how these ideas came to life, how like shifting and inspiring. And also, this concept can be used in many other spheres, like not trying to change somebody, not trying to teach somebody, not spending a lot of time teaching them, because then they would be just using you, but inspiring them, I think. Why? It also works for teams. If I would be controlling everybody, then I wouldn't have time to control everybody, to check everybody's calls, to talk to all the clients, to take time. That's gonna be super destructive. And that's what teaching is. Teaching can sometimes turn into controlling the audience, trying to educate everybody who's following you. That's impossible, and you can't grow audience like that. So instead of controlling your team, you can be inspiring them, like showing with your own example how this change feels, how you are doing that, and just make them feel the vibe. It sounds super blurry, but that's what you should do. Like, that's what we'll be doing, right? I'm not teaching here. I'm trying to reteach myself. And when I'll be inspiring my team, I would be confident that they would be doing the work on the level and the standard that we need. And I wouldn't spend all the time in the world teaching them. Same goes for audience. I would just be motivating them to make a change in their life or in their business or brand, to show that there are other ways of doing your business. And if you vibe with us, we'll work together. So that's the change that we'll be making with our social media. And that's the vibe that we want to have. I'm sorry. And insight number 3, it requires more than you think, but in lifespan perspective, it's nothing. We have been posting for a while now, 400 posts for 4 months on Instagram plus other platforms. And only now we see people in tens, like 10 people or 20 people subscribed for us for within a day, and we haven't seen any result for first 3 months maybe, or even 4 months. That was super demotivating, because when I created, right before launching the agency, I created 465 reels. These were thought through, these were scripted, they had really great ideas, but they just had like person speaking to the camera. That was it, no editing. At first I thought people actually value this information. That's all about branding, about business, about all the insights, all the things that I was careful, the things I'm living by. But nobody gave a shit. Everybody was just bored with this content. I was just trying to teach somebody also. And in addition to that, it's just natural process. It takes time for people to notice you, and it takes longer than you would expect. I didn't expect that to be quick. I was prepared for that, but still a little bit demotivated. But I do not think that all members of my team were prepared for that. That's my mistake, because some of them, they like checked our social media within first months, and they were like, okay, well, here is no progress. We have only our friends here following us, like 50 people. And they lost the motivation, they lost the belief, I think. And now when I'm showing them that, hey, there are people who start following us and it's awesome, they say to me, I didn't believe that was possible. Like, I didn't expect I'm no longer expecting anybody to follow us, or no longer expecting any success in that. And I'm like, hey, why? It just takes longer. But if you look at this from perspective of lifespan, a couple of months, like half a year, that's a little. Maybe to build like really huge company, that takes 2 to 5 years, maybe 6. That's what I hear from other people. I don't know yet. I'll tell you from my own experience when it will happen. But from lifespan, 5 years, 6 years, that's little. And then you'll be just getting the fruits out of your work. That's awesome. So that's the insight. It's important to remember that journey like ours is not unique. People did these things, they built businesses and brands before. They tried and failed for years to become somebody on the market. And that's not just us. Everybody, when are telling their success stories, nobody becomes popular or successful or anything overnight. It becomes through years of building your brand, whether it's personal. Of course, if we have Ronaldo, he would be like making a YouTube channel and he'd get million subscribers within a couple of hours. I do not remember, but he was building his personal brand in football for years of work and training, but nobody noticed that. Nobody was caring about that. But now when he switches this stream of audience into a different platform, he gets the result. So that's a compounding effect of working on your brand. Insight number, I don't remember, 3 or 4? 4. If you want to excel in some niche, surround yourself with environment that would help you grow. For example, a lot of people are asking me, like in Ukraine, how I learned English. That's not the main topic. I didn't expect to talk about that on any of these videos. But how I did that, I just surrounded myself with all the content. Like, I switched my phone to English. I watched all the series and films, vlogs, bloggers on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere, just in English. And I took classes, of course, and I learned some vocabulary. But I think that's not about just learning vocabulary, of course. Like, that's the core and blah, blah, blah. But that was just because I loved some series in original language. I loved the way it sounded. I just enjoyed spending my time this way. And now for some time I listened to Eminem and I enjoyed learning his lyrics and getting myself involved in this culture. And that's why maybe I do not have accent. I hope so, that I don't have one. So in case you want to build business in some niche, you should like dive so deep into that niche that you wouldn't see the sky. Okay, it'd be all dark. Like, really surround yourself with people who know everything about that niche, with all subscribes for all the bloggers and delete the rest. only for this niche. Like really focus on your priority, and then you'd have the result from it. So when I'm working on agency, I'm getting back to my first point here, I'm actually enjoying the work. Sometimes it's hard when it's repetitive, when it's not interesting, but today I was working on creative reels. I didn't make a lot of reels, not for months ahead, unfortunately, but I did just 3 reels that are just right, that are just of high quality. I am proud of how creative I am there. I'm proud of how I'm working on the editing and all this stuff. And what I was trying to say, so I'm actually getting involved in the processes to learn how they function. I'm learning how content production functions just now, how social media management function. I will include, like, I will get ourselves SMM specialists later on, but unless I understand in general how it works, unless I enjoy doing that, let's say I'll hire a player for our social media. What if this, and I myself won't like understand a thing in this niche. What would happen if this team A player would just quit? How would I know where to find another A player? Maybe I'll figure it out. Yeah, that's possible, but I don't have a guarantee that I would know how to select another like really great professional. I wouldn't understand anything about it. So I'm for this time taking the time to dig deeper into all the parts and management of our agency, just to understand how it functions and just to enjoy it. And only later on I'll be delegating it. I tried delegating from the start, but it worked really bad. So for now, I am surrounding myself with all the materials that are out there about building teams, agencies, and creative what stuff. So I think these are all insights for the day. First off, I love the job that I do. It requires more time than you think, and if you want to excel in something, surround yourself with it, like do everything about it. And the first one, I guess I forgot. Yes, do not educate people unless you're selling courses or you're a teacher, but change people's mindset. Get them vibing with you, get them in your community. It also works for brands. Brands shouldn't be just teaching everything. If you're a coffee shop, you shouldn't be just teaching people and being nerd about your coffee. It's a plus, it's a huge plus if you get that. But not everybody wants to be that obsessed with coffee. You just should present the lifestyle, the vibe, show how interested you are, and that would get people interested in your brand. That's it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow.